I think it's so cute. I love the ASMR of it. This is what it looks like. Yay! Ignore this. Mistake. This looked ugly. And now it's endearing. And by the end of it, this is what it looks like. Going in with a thin brush, it made such a difference. I was just going in and kind of doodling. And this is what it looked like in the end. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I have a banger. If you know me, you know that I love ties. I have a tie collection video. And I love customizing clothes. So I thought, why not we combine the two today? And I do a video on how you can customize ties. Anyway, enough yapping. Let's just get started. So the first one, it was a plain... Is this navy blue? I think it's navy blue, but it's so dark. And my new roommate and best friend has a whole jar full of buttons, and I kept seeing a lot of inspiration on Pinterest and stuff but this, like, the visuals of like buttons being cute. So when I came to film this video, I thought, I have a lot of buttons, I have a naked tie, let's cover the tie in buttons. Here we go. First of all, what you want to do is get your plain tie. Here's mine. It looks so bare and boring. I went ahead and emptied out all of my buttons onto the table. This was a bit of a mess, but it's fine. I think she got this at a charity shop, so that's a good place to get buttons in bulk. Once I emptied everything out, I went ahead and picked out some of my favorites. Because it's blue, I just like gravitated towards some of the blue ones more. And then as I was picking them out, I started to see kind of a gradient form. So I thought, boom, why don't I do a gradient? And seeing some of these buttons, they kind of remind me of like sea glass, like mermaid, ocean. So yeah, once I picked out everything, all the buttons I wanted, I laid them out on the tie just to kind of see the layout that I wanted. I feel like when it comes to all of these ties, planning and not rushing is going to be really important here. I am guilty of this. I'll just make it up as I go along and then I'll make mistakes and then get annoyed. So yeah, once I've planned everything, I started the slow but awesome process of sewing each button on. I used this like see-through clear thread so it wouldn't show, but let me go ahead and show you the back of this. You need to leave. Yeah, babe. But no one's gonna see it, so it's fine. It's fine. It's actually fine. So after all that, this is what it looks like. Ta-da! Ta-da! I think it's so cute. I think it's very fun. I love the ASMR of it. Sure. I love the differing sizes. I love the gradient. I think this is going to be such a cute statement piece to an outfit. And I would love to do like an ocean themed outfit with this, like jellyfish outfit. I think this is a good first one to start with. So I feel like you can see with the next one, I start to learn more as I make more, if that makes sense. And the next one is this one. You would have seen in a charity shop haul, I think. This tie, oh, you've actually already seen it because it was in my autumn outfits video, but whatever. I'm proud of it. So for this one, I could have done like a purple or a matching burgundy thread. I really wanted to add some more white in here. So I just took a needle and thread with some embroidery thread so it's like thicker and sewed straight line to follow the pattern of the tie. Now my tip for this one, ignore this. Mistake. This one, you see most of the thread is hidden. So what I managed to do is, I think you can see here, I pinched the fabric so that it's only through the top layer of the tie. And to the best of my ability, clearly I didn't do the best, but I think it's quirky and fun, so whatever. To try and keep my line straight, you go in and out and in and out and in and out, and then you pull it through and it creates a straight line. And then to finish it off, I ended up with these 3 buttons. I think the key thing here that I also learned while doing this one is that the second that I go, is that enough? I think I want to add more. Stop. This is what it looks like. Yay! The next one that I did, I was like, okay, I'm sick of sewing, but this one, I was like, I want to paint. I want to paint and be free and have fun, and I have fabric markers and I have fabric paint, so let's do that. Now this one, this tie is a story of perseverance, of struggle, of determination and resilience, because this looked chopped. Sorry, this looked ugly and then I fixed it and now it's endearing. Anyway, so I took this plain green tie and I started out with something I'm comfortable with, which is stars. So I took some white paint. Now the paint I'm using is actually like really cheap stuff from the works. You could definitely find some that's better, but if you're on a budget, it works. Hey, so I did a few layers of white paint, adding some stars. Hey, it's green. Why don't I add some 4-leaf clovers? Because I really love this kind of like aesthetic. I think it's really cute. I mixed some paint together and got to work on my 4-leaf clovers. Now, I wasn't too happy with the shapes that I was making, so I was like, okay, well, why don't we just make it bigger? Should we leave it alone? No, you think, let's make it bigger. Yeah, that's what I did. Now I'm panicking. I left it to dry. I said, I'm gonna come back to this. I'm turning away and I'm gonna come back to this. So here we have a different setup because I was watching Netflix. But first of all, I went over all of the white because the white, like I said, it's quite cheap. So I had to go over with another layer. But then I went in with the dark green paint and added some detail. Now this definitely saved it because I could use the previous shapes as like a guide and go in with detail to make it look like the shape that I actually wanted. And I think that definitely made it look a lot better. And by the end of it, this is what it looks like. Yay! How cute. It's one of those things where if I wear it, someone's gonna think, oh my god, that's so cool that you made that. They're not gonna be thinking, wow, that looks professionally made. Like, it doesn't matter. I like it. It's cute. Yeah, so that was my fabric paint tie. Now with this one, it's kind of following on from the fabric paint marker situation. This was another one that needed a little bit extra help. So I started out with this black and white tie. Now I barely ever wear this. Again, all of these were picked because they need a second life. First of all, I saw black and white and I went, oh my god, 8-ball, very cute. And for some reason, I don't really like it when like all the design is just all right there in the front. The same with the stars, it's a similar thing. So I kind of like it's on the half sides. Do you know what I mean? It just feels a little bit more like a pattern and less like I slapped an 8-ball on there. You know, first of all, I went in and I just made a circle.
I drank a beer.
And then I made another circle.
I drank another beer.
Now, I will say this tie is like a silky kind of tie, so it's maybe not the best fabric to work with paints and markers. It bleeds a little bit. Anyway, once that dried, I noticed the bleeding was too bad. So I was like, okay, you seeing this? I'm gonna leave this for another day. I came back to it the next day and I thought the fabric paint would come to save the day. I went in with black paint. That, oh my god, did that help so much better. Going in with a thin brush to like make sure these lines are crisp as much as they can be. It made such a difference. And this is what it looks like in the end. Very cute. Now, I did kind of want to add some words on like letter beads that say like maybe not or things magic 8-balls say, but I didn't want to add too much to it. I really liked the simple design, so I went with this. So far we've had buttons, we've had embroidery, we've had fabric paint and fabric markers. Now, my actual baby child that is lying here is a combination of all of the above and some more. Let's talk about it. Started out with this tie. First off, so I know I wanted to use denim and white because that was going to be my like theme for the outfit. This was going to be the main piece. So I cut out some stars. I think this is like a fluffy sock that I cut up. It's kind of horrible stitching, but I really wanted to give like messy vibes and went around these 2 stars here. One with the extra denim patch and one just like plain fluffy. And then I followed up with some more denim and thought it would be fun to add as an extra stripe. And then finally, to like add some cute little decoration, I used some fabric paint to do fishbone, some bubbles, stars. I was just going in and kind of doodling. And this is what it looked like in the end. And I will say, shout out to anyone who saw me at TwitchCon, because the day that I wore this tie, I got recognized more than I did the first day. So I feel like the day that I wore this, people clocked me more as Smidge, I think. So that was really funny to me. Smidge with no tie, that could be anyone. It's actually giving Perry the Platypus, like, Smidge with a tie. Oh my god, wait, it's Smidge. Okay, I understand. But yeah, those are the 5 ties that I wanted to show you today. Oh, actually, before I say what I was going to say next, here are some of you guys, the customized ties. You put them in the Discord. I just want to show off if any of you guys want any more inspiration. So make sure to join that in the description. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, please make sure to give a like and subscribe. I'm live on Twitch every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So make sure to go follow me there. I just put some more stuff on the shop. The signed posters are selling out fast. So thank you so much to everyone who's got one. Everyone who buys anything from my shop, you get a little thank you message from me. It's kind of like cameo. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you next week.